We're live, Mike. Look at that. Brent, look, last week, just amazing me, this backdrop. We've got a countdown. It's as though we know what we're doing, isn't it? It's quite posh for you and I, isn't it, really, mate?
And I've had an office reshuffle. No longer have I got the looking at the side of my door. I just moved everything around in my little bedroom, so it looks like I know what I'm doing now. I have actually read some books, Jamie. You'll be pleased to say I actually have read some books in my life.
Mate, I didn't even know you could read, let alone read some books. So, and I can see there's some certificates there. They're not accounts payable certificates, I can see, but you're just trying to show you're an academic, you're a well-written person. As you can see in my bookshelf, I've got Brad Burton, I've got Mary Schaefer, I've got an award and a bunch of mugs. So you're one ahead of me, mate.
I've got Brad Burton somewhere. Yeah, here's Brad.
There you go. Now what? There you go. Brad, if you're watching, I know he watches afterwards, actually, doesn't watch us live. Bit of a plug for Brad's book. And actually, yeah, let's not talk too much about Brad, but yeah, you never know. He might crop up this year sometime. So we'll go. Right, okay, mate. Look, today, bit of a curveball. The guest that we had booked today, unfortunately, couldn't join us, Jennifer. She's going to join us in a few weeks or a month's time. But actually, the topic of conversation I thought was quite relevant for us to talk through today, Mike. It's all about recruitment, retention, and company strategy. And the reason why it's important we talk about that is that we're recruiting ourselves. The Accounts Payable Association are recruiting. It's been a while since we recruited. A couple of years ago, we merged with another organization, the Payroll Center. We've had, a relatively decent sized team. But as we grow and we continue to grow, we are now looking for a bunch of roles. One of the roles we're looking for or two of the roles, is account management. We're looking for individuals to come and join us. Don't necessarily have to have a background in either accounts payable or account management, but you've got to have some great interpersonal skills. You've got to come and talk to our members. You've got to get involved in our communities, come to our events. So it's a really fun-filled type role, but there is an element of selling. You've got to sell some stuff. We've got to keep us all going. So there's an area of, account management in terms of our product range, but generally speaking, it's all about community. It's talking to the members, making sure they're happy, making sure that they're really engaged in what we're doing, getting the value from all the products that we give and we promote. And actually, Mike, you're a member of the team. You're not sort of in the back office, you're more front facing. And I thought you and I could talk a little bit about our culture. So if we start there, do you want to explain to the members as an impartial, I'm going to be quite partial to AP, tell the world about what the culture is within the Accounts Payable Association, if you don't mind.
I love it. Your boss asks you to give a 360-degree appraisal of the company, but it's going to be positive. It's going to be positive because I really enjoy what I do. And we've been together now, 4 years?
Yeah.
On and off, and for the last 2 years, full time. I love my job. I love my job because actually the culture we've created it is quite dynamic. We're growing all the time, which has its own challenges. But within that, I think the thing I really like about the way in which we work together is you're actually pretty good at releasing people to get on and do it. And if we trip up and make a mess of it, we bring it all back and we work together to improve it. And I think that's really healthy because unless you've got the opportunity to have a go and obviously make mistakes sometimes, then you'll never learn and you'll never move on. And it's one of the reasons actually why if you've been following my LinkedIn, as I'm sure you have, you'll see I sent you a kudos thing as a mentor because yes, you pay my wages, but the point is personally and professionally and obviously helping me understand the whole world of AP and the P2P process and how it all fits together with the people involved in it, both from our side and our members particularly and our partners, has been the most valuable thing. And I couldn't have done that without the insight and the coaching that you've given me. And I'd like to kind of promote that first and foremost. We're a team environment where you are supported. And so whether you've been full-time strapped to a desk for the last 10, 15, 20 years, and you're looking for a change, you want like a work-life balance that works for you. And, within a dynamic team environment, which is going to push you. Let's be honest. We have so many members join us all the time. The challenge is making sure that they're all well looked after. And that's, I think, the role we're seeking for initially is someone to come in and actually understand the challenges that our members are facing and help them get access to the solutions they're looking for. So yeah, no, I like the way we work as a team, and we're big enough to be effective, but small enough to be agile and dynamic, and that's what I like, because we'll try something, we'll go, okay, let's try this, let's try that, let's do this, let's do that. And I know we've got a whole load of stuff planned this year, both online and more importantly face to face. And the thing that I've really enjoyed is, whilst I look after the partner side predominantly, I'm more and more engaging with our members, and they're absolutely amazing. Some real characters for one, and I'd just like to thank all of the members for welcoming me from the partner side of the business into the member huddles and into the community more and more. Because as our update event in Birmingham showed recently, having 100 people in the room who are all fully switched on, totally professional and fun to be around, it's a great working environment. I mean, what better job can you have?
Well, there you go. So I don't know if anybody's watching wants to comment, but I think he gets his bonus this year. Let's put it that way. So no, but it is lovely to hear. It's lovely to hear that Mike enjoys his role. Clearly, Mike's been with us for a number of years. We've known each other personally for some time. But you're right, Mike. The thing that accounts payable world, the world of accounts payable. I've had the privilege of working in accounts payable for many years. My career goes way back to when I was 16 years old. I was an office junior. I worked in the purchase ledger or bought ledger at those times. And I've worked my career through, and I've had my ups and downs, but generally I've stayed with it. The world of accounts payable is a great place to be, but it is quite stressful. It's very demanding. It's, when you think you've got a break, you don't, because the very next day you're back on it. So there's ups and downs of accounts payable. What I love about the job that we do is not only do we get to speak to all these individuals, we hopefully help them, we give them products and support that hopefully fulfills them and their careers and their team's careers. But it's about the meeting of the people. It's the community side. It's getting to talk to them. And you're right. When we had the session that we had in Birmingham at the end of the year, what an amazing session. Not very many organizations would actually, put an event on the time we did, and also get near enough. I think it was 99% of people turned up. The 1% person, by the way, unfortunately had a car accident on the way and still phoned me in the car and said, Jamie, shall I get the AA guy to drop me at the event? To which I said,
mental. Yeah, absolutely mental.
A guy called John, you know who you are, John, if you're watching this. I said, John, get yourself home, make sure you're okay. So commitment from our members is amazing. I love what we do personally. I love our team. And that's why we're expecting expanding the team. The account management side is a really important factor. Yes, there is elements where you've got to sell our products and promote our products, but actually I don't see what we do selling. We're supporting our members. We're asking them how we can support them, and then if there's a product or a service that we either have or we can go and get for them, we'll go and support them. So it's not you pick up the phone and you're hard selling into an organization. What you're actually doing is you're talking to people about their problem, and hopefully we'll have a solution for them. So your job is slightly different, Mike, because you're in the partner sphere. So their solutions generally fix our customers or members' problems generally. But your job clearly is to go and get them to support us, to support our customers. So you have a challenging job. Two words away. That's the reason why we do so much to try and promote the association and our partners. But these roles that we've got, let me explain a little bit about the Culture of Accounts Payable Association. As Mike says, consider it like a family-run business. There's a bunch of us. We've got two offices. We've got one in sort of central Birmingham. We have another office down sort of the south coast, sort of Southampton way. We have a lovely team, a back office team that are amazing. And the biggest joy every day is you get to come and work with me. I'm joking. But the biggest joy of the job or the role that we're looking for at the moment is to speak to our members. Every day you get to talk to our members. Hopefully, depending on what happens later this week, we may be able to get some of those in-person conversations in businesses. But Mike's absolutely right. One of the things that we're doing this year, we made a big commitment at the end of last year, was we are going live. We're going face-to-face for 2022. We made the commitment. Not very many others followed in our footsteps. They're all, a little nervous, and we are as well. But we want to make sure that we want to go live, only on the basis that when we got everybody together just before Christmas, the general consensus from everybody was, we love doing this. We love getting together as a group, as a community. We love the content the association pulled together for us, which is excellent. But it was just a lovely way of networking and also like you know, and I know, Mike, we came out with 3-4 pages worth of information about what our members want from us, all the issues, the best practices that we can support them with. So our year is now planned. We've got everything we want for the year. And the beauty of what we do, and the reason why the roles that we've got at the moment might be prevalent for maybe some of our members. If you've never worked in account management roles previously, and you've predominantly worked in accounts payable roles, you're an expert. You know, an expert is somebody that's been there, done that, made all the mistakes, as my mentor Brad Burton says, but actually gets up every day and tries again. What we're looking for is somebody that understands the industry, understands the stresses and the strains of what we all go through in the world of accounts payable, and he's just there to talk to our members and our potential new members, promote the association, promote our products, and hopefully fix their products, their problems and their issues. So, Mike, obviously you can't have the job because you've already got a job. Anything else we need to say about this particular role that you can think of?
Yeah, one thing I would say is, I mean, I've been in sales. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Jamie's not too bad either. Excuse me. So I've worked in capital equipment sales formerly and had a professional sales career selling fork trucks and big trucks and fixing problems for logistics companies. So I understand that world, and I came into this world. And so I've been typically dealing with procurement directors and operations directors. And it's a very, I wouldn't say adversarial, but it's a very competitive industry. So there's a lot of pressure, and obviously a bit like accounts payable, it's a business critical function. It's material handling industry is, you've got to get the problem right. You've got to be there every day. Everything's got to be working because the whole operation in logistics depends on uptime. And so there's pressure. And like I say, it can be sometimes when things go wrong, it's the things go wrong is a given. It's how you handle those problems is the measure of a company. But one thing I'd say about the difference that I've experienced in what I see in the accounts payable world is there's less of that, you know, them and us bit across the table when you're negotiating about stuff. Actually, the community as a whole is very candid about the reality of the situation. Obviously, no one washes their dirty linen in public, and there's an element of discretion, and we respect that. But we're here to help. And so because we can provide so many valuable resources, both in terms of personal training and development, but also packages for businesses around quality and individual or team performance improvement, there's no resistance to us having a conversation with them about how we can actually deliver those things. And so if you are, you know, you're familiar with AP, you've got a passion and the energy to maybe explore a sales role, and you've never really thought about it before, I wouldn't see it as like knocking doors and cold calling and any of what, you know, the preconceived negative connotations of sales per se. It's a little bit different in the way that we do it, because generally people are phoning us and saying, look, how can you help us? We've got this thing, or we've got these issues. So that's just like a top level overview of the differences between my former sales career and what I've seen in the AP industry.
Brilliant, thanks, Mike. And as you can see, I'm putting a few comments on the screen here. So the great thing about our community is we do these lives. We put them on every week, and the purpose of the lives really is so we can have a chat. We answer comments. We give our viewpoint. We have some guests, etc. But what's lovely is we always have people that join us, whether they're having the lunch, they always make time to come and talk to us. So like Kat's on the live session with us here. She can't wait to the live. She wants us up in Newcastle. Kat, I promised for a number of months that I'm going to come to Newcastle. We're on our way. We will definitely make the journey. And Stephen, who was on previously, he's way up north, up in Scotland. We'll make sure we do an event in Scotland as well. So look, live events are back. We really want to focus this year on bringing some really good new talent back into the APA business as well. So if you're interested in a role with ourselves, please reach out to myself personally. If all you want to do at this point is just have a chat with me about how the company works, you know, what the role's all about, come and have a chat. You know, I'm not a scary person, I promise. I'd always have a chat with anybody. Reach out to me either via LinkedIn, Facebook, or however you're watching this live stream, or send me an email. My email details are not difficult to find. They're on most of my profiles. So come and give me a shout, give me a chat. We'd love to have some new individuals within the business. We are expanding, which is great. We've got new team members. You know, we've got a few new team members who we're going to introduce to people actually on these shows. So we've got somebody new that's joining Mike to support the partners area. Becky, we'll introduce Becky over the next coming weeks. For anybody that knows my better half, Rachel's doing a little bit for us as well. So she's doing a great job. She's talking to some of our members, so that's great. And actually, talking of Rachel, I popped that up earlier from Rachel Long. There you go. So she was making you a big compliment there, and maybe me as well. But going back to the topic of today about recruitment, retention, and how you can retain the individuals, and then looking at the company culture. Rachel works for Breeding Group, lovely company, great organisation, very well led by Rachel, great company culture, great organisation to work for. Rachel's been looking for an AP person to come and join her team for some time. The market is challenging at the moment. Anybody you speak to at the moment will tell you it is very candidate driven in terms of accounts payable, general across the board, in recruitment generally. So the only way that you can attract people, definitely in accounts payable roles, is to offer a culture of education, support, involvement, feeling that they're actually having some worth, which are all the things generally in accounts payable you don't get. And that's why when we're working with our members, another member of ours, Britvic, Stephen Bradbury, he's currently looking for an AP manager. So again, if you're looking for an AP management job and you're in the Solihull area, reach out to Stephen or myself. People are struggling a little at the moment because there is some nervousness about how the world's sort of still panning out a little bit. But there also is a drive by candidates at the moment in terms of their salaries, their commitments, what their requirements are, where they're going to be located. All these are up in the air. And what we have seen, talking to Karen Young and Alison from Hayes a couple of weeks ago, is that the salaries are starting to slightly increase as well, because the expectation of what you want from an individual, definitely in the AP space, is starting to increase as well. So there's they are becoming more analytical in their focus. They're trying to bring in very good, high caliber individuals. But Mike, if you've never recruited in AP, it's a tough old game. You don't have huge salaries to offer. You have your own self and your own motivation, and maybe some training support that we can give you, events, etc. But it is sometimes like playing a game. It is sometimes you've got to make things up. Kat, who commented earlier, Kat Moy, she loves playing games with ping pong beer and all this sort of stuff. You've got to drive a culture within your business or your departments that actually says it's live, it's funny, it's engaging, because we do spend big proportions of our time at work. So if you enjoy what you do, you feel you're getting benefit, you really do feel you're adding value, you're one stage ahead. The other thing I would say, if you're recruiting at the moment, and again, I've recruited many times in the world of accounts payable, is look at what you do as an organization to retain your talent as well. It's, some people use accounts payable as stepping stones. So they come in, they qualify as accountants, and they step to other parts of the business or other organizations. That will always happen. That will still happen, no doubt, in years to come. But a lot of people, they find their way into accounts payable somehow, and they love it. They stay with it. It's got its challenges. It's a difficult area to work in because it can be challenging, it can be stressful, it can be full on. But actually, the people inside the AP teams are just, the salt of the earth, as they say. Lovely. They love they love a party. They really do love to try and engage with their teams. And what I would say absolutely is, if you're currently recruiting for AP teams or managers or clerks, please by all means use us. We have a jobs board. We have the ability within our hub to promote your jobs, your roles, and we're doing it ourselves. We're trying to look for some people to come into our team. But my challenge this year is to try and fulfill career development for individuals. So one of the things we're going to use the hub more this year is to use it more as a mentoring platform, the social platform, so people can talk to one another. I'm going to be in it every day, so I'm going to be constantly in that hub, but actually a mentoring program as well. And I know that Rachel, who was with us earlier, the live comments, Rachel's got a mentoring program at Breedon. So all the things that Breedon do, and Rachel as a great leader, it's still quite a struggle to find people. So the thing with recruitment, what we're finding with our customers is you just got to have an edge. Rachel's team, they train people, the members of ours, and they're going through the Q program as well. So that, they're looking to become fully accredited with the Q program. So when they go out and recruit, they can promote all these things. So when somebody's looking for their next job in accounts payable, they're not looking necessarily just for the salary. They're looking for career developments, what the organization do for them, how involved they are in the community. And these are the things I'd like to think, Mike, that we offer. Would you agree with that?
Well, definitely. I think, I mean, even ourselves, I mean, I spend an awful lot of time, as you know, trying to understand the value of the technological solutions that can help people do their jobs better, faster, cheaper, in lots of different ways across the whole of the P2P spectrum. And I think increasingly now the job is becoming it's moving towards being less manual, less irksome or boring in that sense. So a lot of the heavy lifting tasks and the repetitive tasks are being taken up by, again, fill in the blank. There's a whole ecosystem of partners that can provide solutions that help businesses move that forward to release their employees into higher value work. And when I say higher value work, it sounds a bit buzzwordy. What I mean is stuff that's just less soul destroying and less repetitive, less cumbersome, and obviously, you know, avoiding mistakes, errors, elimination, and obviously there's fraud on the increase. The use of analytics and data and coming together and having actionable management information, both as a team and as an individual, and that feedback you get from the systems that you can employ actually make your job better, and make it more productive. So you are actually, you know, hitting targets, achieving bonuses, or you know, whatever the strategy or remuneration strategy is within the company you work for. Fundamentally, work is becoming more enjoyable, I would say, as a result of, you know, the hybrid working situation, the flexibility that companies are looking for to release their people into greater freedom to do their job the way that needs to be done. And I think they're listening a little bit more to the feedback that they've been getting from managers and individuals, and responding to put in place things that are valuable, that move the needle, I think, in terms of the whole work-life balance particularly. And for ourselves, I mean, I've already sold heavily on the fact that we are a great cultural team, and you know, it is very much about a cultural fit as well. I think you have to enjoy who you work with. I think you have to get affirmation from the work that you do, and we've got loads of opportunities to provide that, because we're, you know, like I say, we're a service business. We fix problems for people, so we're always getting those little feel good reinforcements all the time from our members who are saying, listen, couldn't have done it without you, thank you very much. And of course, that's you know, it doesn't help pay the mortgage, but it's a thing that comes with the job that is a sense of fulfillment, which is, for me, it's a big factor in the job that I do. You know, I could go and do any number of jobs for money, but the reason why, you know, I've stuck here and continue to look forward to where we're going as a business is because there's loads of exciting new things coming up. And I'd like to welcome Becky into the partner team. We will be introducing Becky to the community shortly. I'd like to thank Danielle and Anna for their continued support. And yeah, it's just as we grow. I mean, I'm not a man manager. That's your job. I'm pretty much useless at admin and people. But as you know,
I'm not going to argue, Mike.
But no, it is good to feel a part of a team, even though the majority of the time we spend is actually remote at the moment.
Yeah.
I really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to the update sessions. I think we've got 6 regionally this year. We're going to have 2 conferences, one in May and one in October. In October, we're just going to have a party as well. We have the gala dinner award ceremony as well. So it is quite good to have those things to look forward to. But yeah, no, good place to work.
I mean, we're coming to the end of the today. We always try and keep this half an hour. So overridingly, the message from us, obviously we haven't got our guest with us today, but overridingly, recruitment market is a difficult one. We know that ourselves, and we know our members are struggling as well. My advice, if you're recruiting for AP teams or P2P teams, is have a cutting edge. You know, it's not all about the salary generally. It's about what you offer them, the culture, diversity, whatever it will be. Yes, training and development is a really important factor. I put a poll out yesterday and asked the question, what do people think? Do you get budgets for training and developments? And if you do, what do you do with it? And it was a 50-50 split. Some people get budgets and some people are, don't, and they're struggling to get budgets. So our job is, well, one, if somebody's got a budget, we help them spend it, absolutely, because we're then going to go and help and promote them. If they haven't got budgets and they need support, they reach out to us. We will help you try and get those budgets so you can get that investment back into your team. So if you are recruiting and you want to have a bit of a difference, effectively, so you can offer a little bit more than just the base salary and a bit of training, have a chat with us. We've got the platform where we can put your jobs on, not a problem. But again, if it's a case of even getting a bit of a business case to get a bit of a budget together, have a chat. I'm sure there's ways that we can help you. We've got documents, we've got brochures, we've got also, you have the ability to talk to myself, Mike, or one of the team, and we're always there to try and coach and help wherever we possibly can. All right. Now, just before we wrap up today, we mentioned we have got a role you saw from Stephen King earlier. By the way, Stephen King's been one of our guests. I'm going to try and book him in the next couple of weeks. Steve's got a brand new website. It's the P2P transformation website. Great guy. I think he's already consulting at the moment, but if you are looking for a P2P consultant, Stephen's your man. He's exceptional, based in Scotland, but he travel anywhere. But we'll get Stephen on to do some stuff. Just a reminder, we are looking for, at the moment, a couple of account managers. We have a plethora of roles coming up. So if you think you've got the skills that it might take to come and join us, let me know. I'm sure that I'd love to have a chat with anybody, even if it's just a case about your career. You're looking at what your career is, where you are in your career. Give me a shout and we'll have a chat about that. And then in terms of what's coming up, as Mike said, we've got a whole load of face-to-face events planned. May and October are big events for us. And one of the things I'm going to ask for the community at large, if you're watching this live or on replay, we've got Accounts Payable Appreciation Week coming up. We've got lots of things that we think we should be doing. We've got a live event that week. But actually, the whole thing about AP Week is, yes, it's our week. We run it. We've run it for many a year. And we came up with the idea and the concept. But it's our community that make it a difference. So if you've got ideas, suggestions, I know that Kat, Rachel, Steve, Stephen, and all these guys will be there. But actually come up with your suggestions. Let us know what you want to do, what plans we can do. We can then support you by giving you platforms to do that. So have it in your mind. Reach out to us. If you want to get involved in the AP Appreciation Week, it's May again. Let me know, or Mike know, or one of our team know. And we will absolutely go for it this year. It's going to be some live events. There's going to be some online stuff. And it's all about celebrating AP. Any last words before we finish for today, Mike?
Not for me. I'm good. Busy booking up those events. I mean, the support we've had for both our conference in October and also the May event is outstanding. And so, yeah, for those partners, you'll start to see emails from Anna for follow-up calls and catch-ups. Pick the phone up. Let us know how we can help.
Lovely, thank you. And as you can see from below, Rachel said she'll happily help, whether that's mentoring or just reach out to her on LinkedIn. You'll find the details. Rachel's in our hub. She's one of our influencers. So Stephen, so Kat, a bunch of our influencers are in that hub. I would definitely suggest get yourself into the Accounts Payable hub. Actually, I'll put a link to that because I'm going to be on it every day. It's my toy, my platform for this year, I think. I'm going to sort of be influencing and trying to get all the community chatting in there. But as you can see from our existing members and influencers, they're always there to help. We'll sign off on that one, Mike. I will see you next week. We may change it next week. We may change the format and the time. We may go to an early morning format. So it might be Tuesday or Wednesday next week around 8:30. Again, if you're watching this and you think that's a good call to have it a little bit earlier, we're going to try it a little bit differently so we're not interrupting people's lunch. Let me know in the comments. If not, we'll see you sometime next week about 8:30. Thanks all.
See you guys.